we're looking at a really incredible career today. I mean, spanning over 5 decades. Just huge. And someone who really helped shape, you know, modern film, fashion, even how we see complex women on screen.
Absolutely.
So following the news this weekend that she passed away at 79, we're doing a deep dive into the life and the amazing work of Diane Keaton.
Yeah, and our job today, I think, is to try and pull together all these reports, these tributes that are coming in, to really understand her influence. Because it wasn't just, Oscar-winning actress.
Right.
The sources show she was a director, an author, a filmmaker with a really unique eye, and maybe above all, this cultural icon. That style was just hers.
Totally. So let's start with the basics, the facts we have from the sources.
Yeah.
Born in L.A., passed away in California on Saturday. She was 79.
And the confirmation came from her producer and friend, Dori Rath, who spoke to CBS News.
Right. And also a family spokesperson confirmed it to People magazine as well.
It really makes you stop and think about, well, a whole era of movies, doesn't it?
It does.
What's striking is just how fast she kind of exploded onto the scene. She arrives, and boom, within just a few years, she's setting the standard for acting, for just being cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a lot of people, that first big wave, that 70s stardom, it really starts with Kay Adams-Corleone in the Godfather films. That was her way into, defining movie history right there, sort of bridging the old Hollywood and the new Hollywood era.
But the moment that really shifted things culturally, when she went from being a respected actress to a genuine icon, that was Annie Hall.
Oh, definitely.
That film. She wasn't just winning awards, she became something, a phenomenon. It wasn't just the Best Actress Oscar in 78.
Wow.
She also grabbed the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical, and the BAFTA for Best Actress, all for that one role.
Wow. Okay. That's significant. We hear about awards, but maybe for you listening, what does winning that kind of triple crown actually mean for one performance? What does it tell us?
It tells us that performance was just undeniable. Across the board, all the big industry bodies saying, this is it. It wasn't just critics loving it. It was seen as defining the genre, setting a whole new bar for comedy and complex characters.
So like an astronomical peak?
Exactly. It's rare. It showed she was way more than just a character actor. She was a true leading light.
And that time, the late 70s particularly, was so tied up with her work and, well, her relationship with Woody Allen, director, co-star.
Precisely. That collaboration defined a whole kind of comedy, didn't it? That sort of neurotic, smart, city-based humor.
Yeah.
So Annie Hall, obviously, but also think about, again, Sam, Sleeper, Love and Death, which was pretty philosophical, and then The Beautiful Look of Manhattan.
Their chemistry on screen was just something else. His kind of anxious energy and her more grounded, complex presence, it really set a template.
It became the blueprint, yeah, for a lot of romantic comedies that followed.
Though, if we're tracing things right back to the start, the sources do point out her actual film debut was a little earlier. 1970. A romantic comedy called Lovers and Other Strangers.
That's a good detail.
Yeah.
Shows she was, building things up, working steadily before that massive breakthrough.
Right.
And Annie Hall, as huge as it was really just the start of a career that went on for, 5 decades?
Yeah, exactly. She hits that peak in 78, but she stays relevant, critically relevant, for years and years after. Sometimes you think winning an Oscar might box an actor in. But the sources show the Academy kept noticing her, nominating her for really different kinds of roles.
That consistency is just incredible. She got 3 more Best Actress nominations after Annie Hall, which proves she wasn't just coasting,
What were they for again?
Okay, so there was the big historical epic Reds. She played Louise Bryant, the journalist.
Very opposite Warren Beatty.
Then the really intense family drama Marvin's Room. That was with Leo DiCaprio and Meryl Streep. Pretty heavy stuff.
Wow, yeah.
And then, much later, that massive rom-com hit, Something's Gotta Give. Totally different vibe again.
That range, that's exactly it, isn't it? It shows the power of someone who just refused to be put in a box. She could lead a huge historical film, a prestige drama. Yeah. But then she was also just brilliant in those big, popular ensemble comedies, the ones everyone loved.
Totally.
Yeah.
Think about the movies that really needed her specific thing, that kind of quirky, smart warmth.
Like Father of the Bride.
Exactly. Father of the Bride, the reunion in First Wives Club, which was, iconic.
Oh, yeah.
The Family Stone, which is genuinely affecting, because I said so.
Yeah.
Even later, stuff like. And so it goes.
So for you listening, her career really shows how you can age gracefully in Hollywood, which isn't easy.
Not at all.
She kept pivoting, changing things up before the industry could really pin her down.
And crucially, this wasn't someone who stopped working years ago. The sources make it clear she was active right near the end.
Yeah.
Her last film noted is from 2024, Summer Camp, a comedy with Eugene Levy and Kathy Bates.
So she was still doing it, still creating.
Right up to her final years. That kind of longevity, it says a lot. But we should probably shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Because there's the acting, which everyone knows. But then there's her work behind the camera as a director. That sometimes gets less attention.
Yeah, that's a really interesting aspect. Moving from being the focus to guiding the whole thing, what stands out from her directing work?
Well, her ambition, I think. Her very first time directing was a documentary back in 1987 called Heaven.
Heaven. Okay, what was that about?
It was basically about what different people believe happens after you die. Their ideas about the afterlife.
Wow. Okay, so not exactly a light start.
No, not your typical celebrity project.
Yeah.
It shows right away she wanted to tackle big, thoughtful themes. Challenging stuff.
That's fascinating, to go from acting to documenting something so philosophical.
And then she moved into narrative film. In '95, she directed Unstrung Heroes. It was a comedy drama with Andy McDowell and John Turturro.
And that one got some recognition, didn't it?
It did. The sources say it was picked for the Cannes Film Festival, specifically for the Uncertain Regard section.
Okay, help us understand, why is that particular selection important? What does uncertain regard signify?
Well, getting into Uncertain Regard at Cannes, it means the festival saw her not just as, a famous actress directing a movie.
Right.
They saw her as an emerging filmmaker with a distinct point of view. It gives her artistic credibility, separate from her acting fame. It's a serious nod.
So it validates her as a director in her own right.
Exactly. And she even directed herself eventually.
Oh, yeah. Which film was that?
That was in 2000, a film called Hanging Up. She starred in it with Meg Ryan and Lisa Kudrow.
Ah, I remember that one, about sisters, right?
Yeah, three sisters dealing with their difficult father who's dying. So you see this progression from ambitious documentary to intimate, character-focused dramas. She can handle both.
So we've got the legendary actor, the respected director, and then there's that third element, maybe most instantly recognizable. Her image, her personal style.
Oh, absolutely. Both in films, especially Annie Hall, obviously.
Definitely Annie Hall.
And just in life.
Yes.
She created this totally unique look.
The menswear thing. Vests, ties, the hats.
Yeah, taking things like vests, ties, big blazers, baggy pants, traditionally male clothes, and making them her signature, often with that wide-brimmed hat.
That wasn't just like she was wearing costumes, though.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
She was redefining what feminine power could look like, challenging fashion norms in a really public way.
Yeah.
That had a huge impact, far beyond just Hollywood.
It felt like her. Authentic, a statement. And speaking of her private life, the sources mentioned she never married.
That's right.
And her focus was really on her kids, her adopted children, daughter Dexter and son Duke.
Yeah, it seems she really defined success and happiness on her own terms, professionally and personally.
Okay, let's talk about the tributes that have come out. When someone this iconic passes the words their peers use, they often tell you a lot about the person behind the public image.
Very true.
What specific tributes did the sources pick up on?
Well, Bette Midler, who starred with her in First Wives Club, she put something really lovely on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Called Keaton. Brilliant, beautiful, extraordinary, hilarious, all the things you'd expect. But the bit that really stood out to me, it gives you that little insight.
What is it?
Midler called her a complete original and said she was completely without guile or any of the competitiveness one would have expected from such a star.
Wow. Completely without guile or competitiveness in Hollywood. That says something.
It really does. It suggests she operated differently. In an industry that can be so much about ego.
Right.
To hear that she lacked that competitive edge, that guile, it paints a picture of someone quite rare.
Yeah, suggests a real collaborative spirit, maybe.
Seems like it. And Ben Stiller also chimed in on X, Twitter. He called her one of the greatest film actors ever.
High praise.
Yeah. And he specifically mentioned her being an icon of style, humor, and comedy. And just finished with brilliant, simple but powerful.
So you hear these tributes, you see this incredible career. It makes you wonder, what was driving her? What was her philosophy?
Well, her own words probably give us the best clue. From her autobiography in 2011, Then Again.
What did she say?
She talked about happiness. She wrote, Let's see. I have assessed my happiness ratio, and this is the result. I am totally content whenever the ones I love are happy about something little, big, insignificant, whatever.
That's very grounded.
Isn't it? And she also wrote about the wonderful, intense, compelling feeling she had for her family. So it seems that was really central for her.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, what are the main takeaways for you, the listener, from all this?
I think it's this picture of Diane Keaton as someone who managed this amazing balancing act. Huge professional drive and success.
4 Oscar nominations, 1 win.
Right. Peak critical acclaim. Plus being this unique style icon. But also having this really deep personal grounding. She excelled in front of the camera, behind the camera.
Well, keeping that original style, that was just her.
Exactly. And her focus seems to have been twofold. Achieve incredible things creatively, but always say that her real happiness came from her family being happy. Simple things.
So as you think about her work, her influence, maybe here's a final thought to chew on. She had massive success in so many different genres.
Yeah, think about it. The Godfather, Red series drama, political history.
And then Annie Hall, something's got to give, defining romantic comedy for different generations.
Right.
So what does her career, her refusal to just do one thing, tell us about the value of, well, not letting yourself be creatively pigeonholed? Something to think about as you maybe revisit some of those amazing genre-bending performances.